Alrighty, we are back. So, we're going to do a little bit of leveling today on some of my other characters. Ernie is not on this evening, so we will not be leveling the minstrels on Brandywine. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to level some of my characters on Elendelmere. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work down the list. Bloodborne is always my first character, so he's already done. After that, I think I'm going to go ahead and go down the line. We'll go Bloodbane, Bloodbeard. This guy we just got some information on. Actually, let's do that real quick. I'm going to stay here at the character creation screen, but what we want to do is... Well, let me keep the music playing. Hold on a second here. Persist sound. Okay. Cool. So, we got a producer's letter today. So let me cover that before I start doing some leveling. And hop over to the forums for just a moment. Right. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so this was posted today at 11:30 a.m. It's a letter from the executive producer Aaron Campbell. And he's saying update 15 is getting close and the dawnless day is upon us. Our last major update for the year goes into public beta testing this Friday, October 10th on Bullroar. We have a lot to polish up on and fine tune in the release. We're eager to get your feedback on the new Bjorning class. So I'll give you a small hint as to what I'll be doing tomorrow. So we have some highlights about the Bjornings. A Bjorning, you hail from the line of skin changers that descends from Grimbjorn and Bjorn himself. Bjornings are closely related to the Rohirrim and other men, but are larger and more rugged. Call on the ancestral knowledge of your people with the Roar trait line, strike down your enemies with the Claw trait line, or unleash your wrath to defend your allies with the Hide trait line. When Bjornings gather sufficient wrath, they can take the form of a great bear to unleash devastating attacks on their foes. Every new Bjorning character will start in the brand new starting area, Vales of Anduin. Visit Grimbjorn's lodge while you get comfortable with your own strength. We also have Central Gondor coming. That is, oddly enough, there was a lot of debate about this when they released a section of Gondor that they did. And Maid of Lions talked about it, how it was going to be more about the far west Rohan. They're going to call, like, you know, far Rohan, or I'm sorry, Gondor, far Gondor, or something to that effect. And that they really wanted to focus on Gondor being the sections that we're very familiar with. So he talks about how there's going to be quests available to drive back the Corsairs, the Haradrim, and the Half-Trolls. The latest book of the epic story will resolve in Pelargir, which brings us to that there is a new epic battle. Now, I am actually fairly excited about this because this is not a defensive epic battle, it is an offensive one. I think, depends on how they do this. I really hope that it's solo, duo, 3-man, 6-man, 12-man. Let us do them all. That was my major criticism of the original Big Battle system, was that you know, you have some that you can only do solo, duo, some you can do as a raid, some is... Just let us do it all. That's just my opinion. It makes sense story-wise to have the Deeping Wall be the big raid one. I'm sorry, you could have done Helm's Dyke as a raid. If you can do it solo duo, you should be able to do that one as a raid. And to be perfectly fair, I think do them all as a raid. Give us some new stuff to do. Now, hopefully this one will be in the other format. we'll find out tomorrow, hopefully with the beta. It is public beta, so there is no NDA on it, so people will be talking about it. Producer's letter also talks about that the legendary item update is not on the list for update 15, and that's because they want to take more time and make it good. They do plan on releasing this update with update 16 in April of 2015, in parentheses, or earlier, along with LOTRO's 8th anniversary. I've been playing this game for 8 years, that's insane. At that point, anyway. And then he goes on to talk about what's coming in 2015. Osgiliath. We're advancing north and now almost in sight of both Minas Tirith and the Black Gate. Osgiliath is a city overrun by Sauron's armies. Expect new adventures as your journey along the Anduin. Now, it has been talked about both by producers, developers, and players that Osgiliath will be a new PvP area. I am highly excited about this because I am dog-ass tired of the Edinmoors. We'll see what Osgiliath brings. And then Minas Tirith. This will be focusing on the siege of Minas Tirith, which would be very, very awesome. The final thought that he reveals in the producer's letter is that there are many other areas that we continue to invest in, such as roving threats, a new type of challenge for Fellowship in Central Gondor, and looking forward to update 15 and beyond. So, some good stuff. I'm glad they're back to the Shadows of Angmar quarterly updates. That's good. I mean, one thing, just get us some instances, please. I know you talk about it, how it needs to fit the story space and things like that, but to argue that point, none of that stuff fit in Moria. None of that stuff fit in Shadows of Angmar. If you want this to be an RPG, just make it an RPG. Get the MMO aspect out of it, and play with the story. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is, you have an MMO. It's designed to be played in groups, large and small. Just do it. That's how I feel about it. Again, that is my opinion. But that is some exciting news. I am excited to play the new class. I was hoping to have Bert and Ernie finished up on the minstrel sides before the Bjornings come out, but that's becoming increasingly difficult, and I don't know that that will happen. I see what will happen is we'll get damn close to 100. We're 80, 81 right now. It's possible. I need Ernie to crank out some levels, though. Let me hop back over to chat. Sorry I missed that while I was reading the producer's letter. There's a question in the chat that, well, all epic battles are offensive. No, they're not. They're all defensive, because you are standing stationary while stuff comes at you. That is purely defensive. The new one is offensive, where we are going to be going through the city of Pelargir. The whole idea of Helm's Deep is you are continually falling back to the keep until ultimately it is over. Epic battles are, in my opinion, they are a type of skirmish, because it is, well, they're not really. There are three types of instance clusters in this game. You have your instances, your traditional group dungeon. You have skirmishes, which are supposed to be tierable, somewhat randomized content. Really what that boils down to is that the lieutenants that you get are randomized, and that yeah, I see what you mean. But the lieutenants are really what's random, and it is scalable solo, duo, 3-man, 6-man raid on all of them just about. And then you have your epic battles, which are there's a whole different trait system involved with it. Same with skirmishes. There's a totally different system there because you have a skirmish soldier that you can work with. And yeah, so that's what they're working with right now. And hopefully that the offensive one is more like your traditional your traditional instance. I know that's far-fetched, but that would be pretty cool. And then there's a comment in the chat that says, okay, I don't play anymore. Left when introduced to mounted combat. Ugh, that opens the can of worms. So mounted combat for me is a mixed bag. Most of the time I don't like it. I would have honestly really rather seen us using our normal mounts, and I don't like the weighted mechanics. I find it like most people just get stuck too often. There's a lot more rubber banding, even on a high-end machine. I play on a pretty nice machine, and I still get a lot of hitching and rubber banding while I'm mounted combat, and I just don't think it was what they all cracked it up to be, and that's why we haven't seen a whole lot of movement on that either. You know, there's no instances around it. There's just really a couple war bands that drop some loot. So I think Turbine is good for trying new systems, but when they don't work out, we're kind of stuck with them. They're not removed. They're not really polished anymore. They're just kind of left, and they'll kind of slide away from it, where they just don't do anything with it anymore. Which is fine, but as you level through those zones, you still have to use that mechanic. But anyway, is what it is. It is the game we have. All we can do as a community is provide feedback, and I don't mean complaining that this doesn't work or this doesn't work and we want this. I'm talking feedback. I'm talking, hey, when this happens, when I go fight this boss, or I go do this thing, I don't like it and this is why. Provide reasons for it and solutions for it. Provide reasons that are ways that they can make that better, that are constructive, not just saying this sucks, you need to get rid of it. That doesn't help anything. Yes, they know that you don't like it. Okay, so what do you want us to do? You know? So provide good feedback, sound feedback. But let's move on over to actually doing some in-game stuff. I am going to pick up on my captain. I've started him in Gondor a little bit now. So let's fire him up. Comment in chat is LOTRO was my fave MMO. LOTRO was and is still my favorite MMO. I will play this game, I kid you not, until the lights go out. However long that is. I went through all my tunes and calculated the time. This was a couple months ago. And I've got over 8,000 hours invested in this game. And do I stream often? Yes. Very often. I had been playing Shadow of Mordor for a little bit here. I am completed with that, so I will be exclusively back to LOTRO. I think I put the stream times on the Twitch profile, but if not, I try to stream every night if I can. I do work retail, so sometimes my hours are a little goofy. But I'm typically between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. Eastern, give or take. You know, it might only be an hour here. It might be one night I can stream for 4 or 5 hours. It just depends. But I try to stream anytime that I'm playing games. I feel like that's something that I can contribute to this community is being a voice and being consistent and just actually being here. So I try to do that as much as I can. Let's see, I need to crank this back to ultra high. Okay. Oh, Hobbit presents. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Nailman crams and massive pile of gold scraps. Alright, so let's take a look. I haven't been on my captain in a little while. I gotta make sure. Mail. Meeting. Calendar. Rate signups. Meeting example. Okay. Cool. I gotta get rid of that. That's gonna fuck. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we've got West Gondor, really just have 2. Uncheck that guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna do Fangorn, sorry. I did that on Bloodborne. And the same things always apply in chat for me. If you have questions, comments, or anything you want to talk about, fire it away. I glance over every now and then, just take a look at the chat. I'll do whatever I can to respond to you, bring you up in chat and things like that. So, let me know.